One of the most powerful and influential figures in the Destiny universe, Mara Sov, Queen of the Reef and former Kell of the House of Wolves, is a figure we have more questions than answers about. While her true motives have yet to be revealed, she has generally positioned herself as an ally to the Guardians of the City, though her alliances seem to be numerous and constantly shifting. The biggest question regarding the Queen, though, is that of her fate following the Awoken's assault on Oryx's dreadnought. Is Mara Sov alive? And if so, where is she? Let us start by quickly going over what we know about the Queen. Our first knowledge of her comes from the campaigns against the House of Wolves during the Reef Wars, a war she started to keep the Wolves from joining with the other fallen houses at the Battle of Twilight Gap, as she had no way of warning the city that the Wolves were on their way. During a surprise assault, her forces were able to kill Kel Varaxis and force the remaining wolf leaders into an internal power struggle, which she took advantage of, eventually eliminating all of the figureheads of the house and claiming the title of Kell of Wolves for herself. Despite not being of the light, Mara Sov's military power is quite significant. She holds command over the Techian witches, Prince Uldren and his crows, the Queen's Guard, the Paladins, is allied with Eris Morn as well as Varix of the House Judgment, and, of course, the remnants of the House of Wolves' fleet. She also holds an alliance with the Nine and is herself capable of incredible feats of what appears to be psychic power, most notably working with her witches to create and control the enormous energy weapons known as Harbingers. It is this military might that she would bring to bear against the invading forces of Oryx and his Hive Armada in the Rings of Saturn. During this battle, Oryx's wrath wrought unbelievable destruction to both the attacking Awoken as well as his own fleet. Mara Sov was last seen aboard her personal ketch, surrounded by 3 of her Techian witches, as Oryx decimates most of her fleet. The ketch is caught in the attack, with Mara still on board. The Awoken fleet was all but destroyed, but Mara's attack was able to inflict unbelievable damage to the Taken Armada and delay Oryx's attack long enough for the Guardians to attack and eventually defeat the Taken King. Let's start with the obvious question. Is Mara Sov still alive following the Battle of Saturn? According to the grimoire of the weapon Telesto, Paladin Kamala Rior has worked to find signs of Mara Sov and her ketch after the battle, but has as of yet been unsuccessful, reporting to acting Awoken commander Petra Venge that the official report of the battle should note the deaths of many Awoken paladins and Techians, as well as Queen Mara Sov, the former massive military might under the control of the Queen was gone. The Queen's brother and head of the Crows, Prince Uldren Sov, would believe otherwise. As can be read in the grimoire entry The Queen Aftermath, Uldren is the only known Awoken to have survived Oryx's assault at Saturn, having crash-landed all the way out on Mars. While still trapped in his ship, he attempted to reach out and contact Mara. Quote, "The countdown to the shield's deactivation pulsed. He tried again to home in on her, to find if she truly gave herself for this battle. He felt close to something, a hum of starlight. Then shield deactivation broke his focus." It would appear that Uldren was able to get a brief connection with Mara, but was unable to discern her location. His sole mission now is to seek her out. Outside of the game, an edition of Bungie's weekly Twitch stream featured CJ Cohen. He all but confirmed Mara surviving the battle. Quote, "This is totally spoiling like Destiny 2020 or something, but when we get to that world down the road where the original Pirate Queen comes out, I think it's going to be a really powerful moment." So, if she is alive, where could she be? This is where our trail goes completely cold and only theories exist. One possible means of escape could be Vex technology. Morozov had previously shown a level of expert knowledge when it came to Vex technology and procedure through her knowledge of the Gate Lords and the means to access the Black Garden. There seems to be a theory that this item aboard her ketch during the Battle of Saturn could be Vex in nature as well. If Morozov escaped using these means, she may well have traveled not only across space, but across time, which would explain her complete disappearance and why Paladin Kamala Rior was unable to find any trace of her in the aftermath of the battle. Morozov was not above subjugating the Fallen for her needs. Why would using Vex technology be any different? Another possible means of escape could be her Techians. Very little has been explained regarding what the Techians are actually capable of, only that their power is directly tied to the Queen and that they are capable of massive illusions, telepathy, and assisting in the activation of the Awoken's greatest weapon, the Harbingers. In the very last moments before her ketch is engulfed by Oryx's attack, Morozov's eyes lose their trademark glow, a trait carried by all Awoken. This could be her using the last of her power to create some means of escaping death. After all, Morozov hinted that she knew how the battle would unfold in her message to Eris Morn, stating,
"You and I know how this ends. We've known since you escaped from that pit."
It is known that the Awoken have some level of precognitive ability, and Morozov's is likely quite powerful. If Mara and Eris both knew that this would be the outcome of the Battle of Saturn, it's entirely possible that they worked with the Techian witches to have some sort of escape plan. As the three Techians aboard Mara's ship, Eileen, Sadia, and Shuro Kai, are all missing. What that plan could actually be, one can only speculate. My final theory, and one to which I have virtually no way of proving or disproving, is that Morozov was assisted by the Nine. Mara allied herself with the Nine before her battle with the House of Wolves to ensure she had the strength to eliminate them. The Battle of Saturn is right in the middle of the Nine's territory, generally referred to as the Jovians, the planets beyond the asteroid belt and the Reef. Grimoire hints that the Nine already have a foothold on two of the moons of Saturn, namely Rhea and Titan, granting them easy access to assist Mara and her fleet. What their powers are and how exactly they could assist are again items that one can only speculate about, but the fact remains that this battle took place deep in the territory of the Nine, and that their ally led the assault herself. Although, if the Nine see Mara and the Awoken as actual allies or as means to an end, is yet another question we cannot yet answer. So while all signs point to the Queen of the Reef surviving the onslaught of the Taken King, we are left with no answers as to how she may have survived. Whether through using the darkness to her advantage or relying on allies to escape, it's safe to say we have not heard the last of Morozov. How and why she may return in the future is still in question, but we can be sure that when she does return, it will not be quietly. Thank you for watching. This has been Scan with GLHF TV.